Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Monday the 13th of March 2023 in today's Millwall news. To start off with this from londonnews.co.uk, the South London Press's online website. It's more post-match comments from Gary Rowett. It's not for me to tell anyone. Millwall boss gives response to question about Championship playoff picture. Millwall are in a playoff place with only 10 Championship matches remaining, but manager Gary Rowett is not concerning himself with how many teams are still viable contenders for a top 6 spot. Norwich could have jumped back above the Lions yesterday but lost 1-0 at home to Sunderland. Rowett's side have a 3-point advantage over 8th placed West Bromwich Albion, whilst Coventry and the Black Cats trail them by 4 and 5 points respectively. You can usually work out roughly what each team need to do to get in there, Rowett told the South Press. If you're 7 or 8 points off it now, then you're just going to need to go on a good run, don't you? You need to win 3 or 4 games on the spin, but any side that's capable of that in this division. It's really hard to put a tally on it and to give it a definite this is what you need, or this is who is in it, or this is who is out of it. Because it's not for me to tell anyone whether they have a chance for the top 6. If you look historically, like I said before, one season 69 points got in there, and another one you might need 75 or 76. You might need 79, who knows? You've got to get your head down, keep trying to pile the points up, and worry about the next game coming along, rather than looking around and working out permutations of what could happen in the last 10 games. Rowett tuned in to watch Norwich's match on Sunday. I tend to watch them anyway, regardless of who it is and regardless of the situation, he said. They're in our division and it's a chance to watch another game. But I wasn't sat there glued to the screen and praying that Sunderland could score or win the game. I wasn't really bothered what happened. It's almost that you have got to look after your own results and not worry too much about everyone else's. The result kept us in the top 6, and that was the only real bearing of it. Sunderland played well, and it was quite an entertaining game, actually. There you go. That's Gary Rowett. Now, we move on to this from SkySports.com. They spoke to Tom Bradshaw, obviously, after he picked up his award. So here you go, and I was looking for this, and I've just found it. So, more on this later, you'll figure out what I'm going on about. Millwall vs Swansea live on Sky Sports Football, Red Button, and Sky Sports app. Okay, so that clears that up. I was looking for that earlier. Tom Bradshaw exclusive Millwall striker on Championship playoff aims, Wales dreams, and attacking partnership with Zion Fleming. Tom Bradshaw won Sky Bet Championship Player of the Month for February. Informed striker discusses his partnership with Fleming, his Wales dream, and playoff aims. So yes, here we go. It was roles reversed for Millwall's top 2 attackers on Saturday. A week after Zion Fleming had played in Tom Bradshaw to score the opening goal against Norwich, it was Bradshaw's pass through for Fleming that led to the Dutchman winning a penalty, which made the breakthrough at Reading. Millwall held on this time, bouncing back from that thrilling but frustrating 3-2 defeat at home to Norwich for a hard-fought 1-0 victory on the road, which has moved them back into the playoff places. After a strong season so far, they are now well placed as the running ramps up. Bradshaw and Fleming have been key figures in the team's success to this point. The pair have 13 Championship goals each. Only 4 players in the division have scored more, but it is the combination play between them which is an important aspect of Millwall's attacking play. With club record signing Fleming dropping deep to start attack before bursting forwards, Bradshaw is able to push onto defences and utilise his main strength as a striker, converting from close range. Zion and I have developed a great relationship as a number 10 and a number 9, Bradshaw tells Sky Sports after picking up his award. For me, as a striker, it's great to have someone like Zion in the number 10 role, because naturally I like to get higher up the pitch, whereas he likes to drop up into the holes and get on the ball and turn and start attacks off. I think that's why we balance each other out so well. Scouting wise, to get Zion for what we got him for, but although it was a club record, I think it was a snip of what he's actually going to be worth. He's had an incredible year. Hopefully our goal battle will continue for the rest of the season. And then they have some Rorschach tests. I don't know about you, but the one on the right looks like a big muscle man with his arms in the air chasing you. Or is that just me? The one on the left I'm not too sure about. But yeah, that's the heat map. And there are... So Bradshaw, 13 goals from 29 shots on target. 3 assists. and 132 touches in the opposition box. 6 of Bradshaw's league goals this season have come from within the 6-yard box. Only the division's top scorer, Chuba Akpom, has hit the net more times from that area of the pitch. Bradshaw's shot map also illustrates his preference for shooting from central areas close to goal. That's the one below. His style has become something of a running joke at Millwall's training ground, but there can be no doubting his effectiveness in this campaign. Bradshaw is enjoying the best scoring season of his career at this level, with 2 hat-tricks among the highlights. And then we have a Tom Bradshaw shot map. The blue stars are goals. I'm guessing the blue. What the hell? Why are some of the shots? Oh, on target, off target. Okay. So the blue stars are goals. The blue circles are shots on target. The red circles are shots off target. And the lines are passes, although there are no lines. Does he not pass when he's in the area? Greedy bastard. Am I reading that right? Or is it supposed to have a line through it, a circle with a line through it? Oh, I can't see any of them. Whatever. If we're shooting from outside the box in training, I jokingly say that it's too far out for me and out of my comfort zone, Bradshaw says with a laugh shortly after finishing another cold but high-spirited session. But if I think back on my career, most of my goals have come from either inside the 6-yard box or around it. And that's just me as a striker. I like to score a lot of goals from crosses and cutbacks, and being in and around the box. Whereas Zayan will score a fair few bangers from 20 to 25 yards out. Everyone in the team has different strengths and weaknesses, and we balance that out really well, with everyone sort of complementing each other. Millwall boss Gary Rowett certainly seems to have found the right blend among the collective this term, and that could bring more individual accolades Bradshaw's way, with the forward hoping for a chance to add to his 3 Wales caps in the March international break. That's something I'm very passionate about, and I've got one eye on the upcoming games, he says. There's been no conversation with the national team manager, Rob Page, yet. With a lot of big names in Welsh football retiring, I think he's got enough on his plate at the moment. Bradshaw adds with another laugh. It's clear from the conversation Millwall's players are confident, ambitious, and feeling positive. That's a good position to be in for the final push. So can they sustain it? Oh, it's more of the same for us, says Bradshaw, when asked what the team must do in these final games to grab a playoff spot. It's about keeping that freshness. A lot of the strength we have is getting after teams, pressing them high, having high energy about us. A lot of teams, if we're on it, we can blow teams away the first 15 minutes in terms of getting after the ball and scoring an early goal. I think the fans are starting to believe a little bit. In previous seasons, we've always been in and around there, but we've always been chasing the pack, whereas this season it definitely feels like we're in and amongst it. We as players believe that we're just good enough to be up there. That belief among the fans and players will grow further if Millwall can secure a victory against Swansea at the Den on Tuesday night. Bradshaw and Fleming were both out injured when the sides met back in August. That attacking axis is fit and firing now and primed to have another big impact in the championship playoff race. So there you go. That was enjoyable, wasn't it? Bradshaw seems to be having a lot of fun at the moment, doesn't he, boy? And I tell you what, if he wants to be in the Wales squad, assuming the Wales manager and management team haven't just literally written him off because they want younger players and they're not willing to bring someone back that was cast out before. If they're genuinely open and looking and are willing to bring him back, scoring against or playing well against a Welsh team tomorrow may not do his chances any harm. So there is that. Now, moving on to this. So Millwall due up for London Football Wolves. This was a reminder because we were told when the nominations come out that what the nominations were, and obviously with Billy Mitchell up against Saliba, Saka, Elise, and Martinelli. There's no surprise, of course. The awards took place today. They were being live tweeted on Twitter, and the winners were announced. And of course, Billy Mitchell did not win that award. And rather surprisingly, Zion Fleming didn't win his award either. That award went to Paul Smith, and I think the other one went to Bukayo Saka. So Millwall players not winning there. I've seen some pictures. I haven't really had a proper look. Didn't see them in any of the pictures there. I don't know if they went. Be interesting if they did. Now I'm sure Zion Fleming obviously has ambitions to play, I imagine, at the Premier League level. Probably Billy Mitchell as well, to be fair. I'm digging him out. So I imagine in that case that you would want to attend this event just to rub shoulders with people at that kind of situation, and just to mingle with Premier League people, and maybe a bit of tapping up, shall we say. Although that's illegal, isn't it? Can't do that. You can't tap players up these days. But I'm sure, obviously it's only a London-based event, so the London teams involved, would any of them be in for Zion Fleming? Maybe the crap ones like Palace and West Ham, but the rest of them, and the West Ham manager was at a Millwall game recently. So Zion Fleming to West Ham, anyone? But yeah, they didn't win the awards, and again, in terms of Bradshaw being motivated to perform tomorrow against Swansea, because that might help him get in the Welsh team. Zion Fleming, you didn't win this award. Maybe you need to show the people who didn't give you that award why they're wrong for doing that, or wrong for not doing that. Now, moving on to this from millwallfc.co.uk as well, the latest Loanwatch, which contains an error. I'm not going to dig them out, but 2 of Millwall's 3 loanees were in action last weekend. Wrong, it was 1. No, it was 2. Oh, it was 1. Yeah, it was 1 actually. Shamar Lawson sat out a Mason United's FA Trophy 6-round penalty shootout defeat through suspension. He does pick up a fair few yellow cards. Jordan Gilmore suffered a loss on the road. The Maidstone's route to Wembley was ended by the Bees, who won 4-3 on spot kicks following a 2-2 draw in Kent. And they went straight to spot kicks after 90 minutes. So VCD's wretched run continued, meanwhile, as they were beaten 1-0 away at Sheffield United. And then they say that Alex Mitchell's St Johnstone lost 3-0. That actually happened a couple of weeks ago. The Scottish Premier League was suspended this week because it's actually Scottish Cup weekend. So, and St Johnstone already been knocked out of that competition. They did not feature. The upcoming fixtures there for Maidstone United, VCD, and St Johnstone. So there you go. That's this week's Loanwatch. Just one player playing. That would be Jordan Gilmore in goal for VCD Athletic. Moving on now to some information about events coming up. I told you yesterday that this event had sold out, the evening with Neil Harris. Well, they went back to the London Golf Club and said, can we fit any more people in? Apparently they can. They've got another 30 tickets that are going on sale tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So this is from eventbrite.com, and the evening with Neil Harris. You search for that, or you can search for Millwall Community Trust, and I'm sure you'll find it. 30 tickets are going back on sale after it's sold out. So, and remember, it's for charity. It's for a food bank in West Kingsdown. So there you go. They managed to find 30 more tickets. And another event, one actually taking place tomorrow before the home game against Swansea. They moved the book signing and talk from Roy Larner. Was supposed to take place in the Lions Centre, which is next to the Lions store. They've moved it. Maybe because there might be a bit of segregation from the fans and stuff. They don't want the Millwall fans going over that way. I'm not too sure. But all tickets have sold out, and it's now going to take place in Arrys Bar. But the Arrys Bar is still open. It's just in a side room off of it. So Arrys Bar is still open, but this event will take place in Arrys Bar at 5:30 p.m. Don't know if the times have changed. I think that's the same time. I'm not too sure. This is from No One Likes Us Talking podcast Twitter. 6:15 p.m. Jeff Burnage will talk with Roy Larner, and the event will finish at 7:15 to allow people to attend the game. So 30 minutes before the game kicks off, they're going to let you through. But I've got that book, and that is a hefty book. I don't think I'll let you in with it, because if you throw that at someone, that will cause a bit of damage if you get them spying on. So there you go. Don't throw books. Now, this is what I was going to talk about. I was talking about earlier. So this is livefootballontv.com. Trying to find out if the game is on television for those of us not going to game. According to this, it's on Sky Sports app, but as we saw on that story earlier, it's actually on the red button as well. So if you have Sky, it's on your red button, but it's also on this app. I don't know what this app is. Does that mean it's free, or do you need to be accustomed to log in? Because a lot of people, they're trying to get things on apps because they want you to download the app. Because once you've downloaded the app, then Apple gives them your details and stuff. And if you log in with Facebook on the app, that app will sell your data to Facebook so they can send you ads when you go onto Facebook. So I don't know if it's free. This is Sky Sports, just random app. The kind of app where you get news and live scores and shit. Or whether it's a customer app. You need to have an account that you can log in with. It's like the kind of app they give you so you can watch your account as you're going around the country on your phone. Don't know if it's that or what. But I looked on Millwall's website. Now Millwall putting out a lot of adverts. They're trying very hard to sell tickets for this game, sending out emails left, right, and centre to people. Some people getting discount codes as well. I think it's for this game. Might be for the next game. But so far they haven't put up match passes for sale for this game. Now it doesn't mean it's not. They might be doing it late doors, because it literally takes from I don't know what it takes from their end, but from my end as a customer, it takes literally 30 seconds. If you're already logged in or you just got to log in, it takes like 30 seconds to pay the £10 and then for it to go through. Although it is annoying for me. I don't know if that happens to everyone else. So I bought match passes many times over the last season and this season, and each time, even though it's the same amount of money to the same company, my bloody credit card company still wants me to go into the app on my phone and approve the transaction, which for a £10 transaction, I don't know what's going on there. Is that Millwall's end? What is going on there? Why does that keep happening? Does that happen to anyone else? Oh, it happens to me. So again, but we have from Swansea. So Swansea are selling match passes on their Swans TV. So I'm assuming that it must be available on Millwall TV, but they haven't done it yet. And that they're probably trying to wait. They're trying to sell as many tickets as possible. But again, like I said, it's a bit poor form that they haven't put up yet. But I'm sure, like, Millwall fans, as they're getting home from work, as they're getting home from school, cooking dinner for the family and whatnot, and then literally they'll find out 6:45 what the team is, and then they'll probably go on the website and see if they can buy a match pass. Or if you've got Sky and you've got the red button, you'll do that anyway. I imagine it doesn't have to be the day before, but it's a bit poor that they haven't put it up there yet. But according to SwanseaCity.com, Swansea City's official club website, they will be streaming it. So if you find yourself tomorrow and Millwall aren't selling match passes through, which I don't know why they wouldn't, because this isn't a rearranged game. This was an original midweek fixture. But maybe they can't, because I think there's a limited number of match passes for midweek fixtures that you can sell. So if we have had a couple of rearranged games, if we were selling match passes for that to UK people, we can't sell. So maybe we've traded it off this one for that one. I don't know. But again, if you find yourself out of luck on the Millwall TV website, if you go to Swansea, you can go and sign up and pay £10 to them and get a proper quality feed, or you could just do what most people do and just get an illegal feed that will infect your computer with computer HIV. But that's up to you. But I'm just letting you know this is an option. Now, getting into the actual game tomorrow. This is a weird one. This is from 11v11.com. So, weirdly, because they had a name change, and I've sorted it in alphabetical order, we start off in the middle down here. First game at the Den between Millwall and Swansea was between Millwall and Swansea Town in 1921, and that was a 2-0 defeat. 2-0 defeat. And it was a bit patchy, lose, draw, win for quite a while, first 10 years or so, until we get to 1931. And then from 1931 all the way down until we go to 1985, and then we go up again. But so we have to go back up to the top. From 1931 to 2011, we did not lose at home to Swansea City. Now, why would that be? Well, I don't know if you know your history, but 1931, in 1929, there was something called the Wall Street crash. Stock exchange crashed, demand for commodities crashed, demand for coal crashed. So I don't know the specifics, but I'm probably certain that this affected Swansea in South Wales, maybe the steelworks if they have them there, certainly coal mines and stuff. So that would have affected the local economy and the local football team. And they probably fell off, and they took a long time to recover. And there's a few years where we're not in the same division. So we play them 30th of April 1966. Before then it was 1949. So there's massive gaps where the two teams are not in the same division. So from 1966, we have to go back up, which is annoying. We played them again in 1984. And then after 1984, didn't play them again until 1999. That was in the League Cup, not the draw. So obviously, around the 90s, we have the setup of the Welsh Parliament under Tony Blair, devolution. The Welsh government gets money that they start investing in Wales. The economy recovers to some extent. And I assume, as we know, Swansea City benefit from that. And they obviously get a bit of investment, get a new ground, get into the Premier League, and then we start losing to them. So again, 30th of April 2011, first defeat in many years since the 1930s. We lose 2-0, and then this is what's going on now. This is the run that we're on now, which started in 2011. We lost 2018. We lost 2020. 30th of June. Yes, you're reading that right. 30th of June. That was obviously the delayed COVID season. We actually got a decent result. Drew 1-1. But then the year after, 2021, lost 3-0. Latest result, we lost 1-0. But right now, as it stands, we've got Swansea City. I think the parachute payments may have fallen away for them. They're struggling now. And isn't it interesting that when you have financial fair play rules introduced and enforced, that certain clubs that were doing well before, suddenly they're not doing too good when it seems to be a level playing, and they all drop off. your Swanseas, your Cardiffs, your Stokes, and your Birminghams and whatnot, they all fall off. And that allows little old Millwall to rise up, and Luton as well. Luton and Millwall to start competing at the top of the league. And is that what we're seeing now this season? And will that mean that we finally, after many years, since 2011, well, our last time that we beat them at home was actually 2007, so that is a long, long time, the first win at home against Swansea City since 2007. We certainly hope so. And there's not a better time, because we're flying and they are falling. So if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen tomorrow. So, moving on to this from whoscored.com. Let's actually look at the top right, the match facts. Swansea are undefeated in the last 6 away matches against Millwall in all competitions. Yeah, we just saw that. Swansea failed to win in their last 5 matches in the Championship. They haven't won in 5 matches in the Championship. Yeesh. And they're recommending Swansea lose or draw. Only 1.22. It's a bit skinny. If we sort this out, there you can see. So this does not look good, as we've seen. The last 6 games between Millwall and Swansea at Millwall, we have won none of them. We have drawn 2 of them. We have lost 4 of them. We have only scored 4 goals in those 6 games. We've conceded 11. And even in the game where they got a red card, they still won it 2-1. We have failed to score in 3 of those games and have not kept a clean sheet in any of them. So it does not look good there, does it? Let's skip past that. But here is the table as it stands. Well, it was until it decided to go away. Here is the table as it stands. We are in 6th and they are in 17th. They have a goal difference of -7. They've conceded 55 goals. We've only conceded 38. As you can see there, their last 5 games, they have not won. They lost at Blackburn. They lost at home to Stoke. They drew at home to Rotherham. They lost away to Luton. And they lost at home to Middlesbrough. Interesting. But what about home and away? So home, obviously Millwall are the 8th best home team in the league. We did lose last time out against Norwich. That was kind of a weird result. They had very few shots on our goal, but it seems everything they shot went in. In terms of away games for Swansea, how does that look? So they've only won 4 times away from home. They've drawn 7 and lost 7. They've only scored 20 goals away in 18 games, conceding 27. Okay. In terms of form, though, what are we looking at for form? So in the last 6 games, they've only won 1, drawn 1, lost 4. We have won 3, drawn 2, lost 1. Okay. So our last 6 home games, their last 6 away games. Obviously, kind of worrying that so far the only clean sheet on this list is against Rotherham quite a while ago, back on New Year's Day. But we have played some good teams. We played Sheffield United twice, once in the Cup and once in the league, conceding 2 goals both games, 2 goals in each game, but scoring 3 in the league game. We conceded 3 against Norwich, and we conceded 1 against Sunderland, 1 against Burnley. In terms of Swansea, they did manage to score 3 goals away to Sunderland, although Sunderland had a player sent off. They failed to score in their last 3 away games, which was at Luton, Blackburn, and Sheffield United, which coincidentally are the teams that we're competing with for a playoff place. So you would suggest that they struggle playing against good teams in the league. have trouble scoring against good teams in the league, which we are. We are. We're below those teams at the moment, but and they've conceded at least 1 goal per game each of these games. In fact, let's have a look now. Let's go over and see, because we're nearly at the end of the season. So here is their away games throughout the season. Interesting, they have had 2 players sent off in away games. So they beat Sunderland, obviously the 14th of January. They won 3-1. Their last win was at Watford in October. Before that, then West Brom. Interestingly, they went to West Brom and scored 3 goals. They went to Coventry and scored 3 goals. They went to Sunderland and scored 3 goals. So they can score away from home. But they quite often do not. They fail to score on many occasions. Including at Huddersfield, at Preston, at Burnley, and obviously the last 3 games at Luton, Blackburn, and Sheffield United. The only time they've kept a clean sheet in an away game is at Blackpool in a 1-0 victory, and at Huddersfield in a 0-0 draw. So against 2 of the worst teams in the division, they have kept a clean sheet. Everyone else, they've conceded at least 1 goal, which is good because we like scoring goals. We're very good at doing that now that we've changed formation. So here are the strengths and weaknesses. Defending counterattacks, Swansea are very weak, and stopping opponents from creating chances. And aerial duels. Match forecast. Millwall will create many scoring chances. Millwall will score from a set piece situation. Millwall will dominate in the air. Swansea will dominate possession. Tippy-tappy around the back. And Millwall will make a comeback if they go behind. Nice, that all sounds very good, doesn't it? So let's move on to the preview. Well, that was the preview. This is the prediction. Now they do have a few players out through suspension, but they do have someone we should be worried. His name is Joel Perreault. If you look on the right hand side, you can see he's got 13 goals so far this season. He actually leads. He is at the top of the charts in terms of averaging shots per game in the Championship. I think around about 3.1, 3.2, something like that. He is a Netherlander. He is from Netherlands, and the player in second in the league for shots per game is one Zion Fleming. So you've got 2 Dutch players at the top of the table for shots per game averaging. So he is someone we do need to worry about, I think. He's their only threat, really. So how do we deal with that? Now, obviously, the threat with Reading was Cresswell, and it was quite obvious that Carroll. It was Carroll, and the threat of Carroll had to be dealt with Cresswell. Now you think, well, why not Jay Cooper? Jay Cooper's tall. He's tall, but he's not. He can't mix it up like Cresswell. Cresswell is kind of interesting. He's like a mix between Cooper and Hutch. So that's how I'm seeing Cresswell. He's kind of a mix between the 2. Now, to deal with Perreault, what do we do? Can Cresswell deal with him? He obviously plays a lot more on the floor. He's basically there's Iron Fleming. So in training, when they're playing against each other, Millwall, who does the best against Iron Fleming? Is it Hutch? Is it Cresswell? Do we get Saville to do man mark him? Get Leonard to man mark him, and then maybe tuck in Honeyman whenever we're defending, and get him to tuck in on that right flank. We do need to figure out what to do with Perreault, but again, in terms of he's their only threat. But as I've shown you, they've only kept 2 clean sheets in away games so far this season against 2 teams in the relegation places. That's it. They're obviously a team not doing very well at the moment, and they're a team that we can certainly should be scoring goals against. Now, Millwall prevented Reading from having a shot on target at the weekend as the London club closed out the game in their trademark fashion. That's a bit rude. Gary Rowett's men are serious contenders in the playoff battle. They head into this midweek fixture having lost just one of their last 12 league games at the Den. Swansea held a 1-0 lead heading into the break against promotion hope Middlesbrough on Saturday, but the Welsh club capitulated in the second half as they slumped to a 3-1 home defeat. The visitors have lost each of their last 3 away league games ahead of Tuesday night's clash. And they predict Millwall 1, Swansea 0. And that's it for predictions, because Sky haven't bothered to do one yet. So, will we score? Certainly, it's almost certain that we will score. I think we'll score more than one. Can we keep a clean sheet? It would be nice if we could. It would probably be nice for the nerves. Again, the way Swansea play, it's kind of interesting that they have actually scored 3 goals on 3 different occasions on away games at West Brom, Coventry, whoever the other one was. Because of the way they play, they play it out from the back, they tippy-tappy it around the back, they pass it up to midfield, and then if they get tackled, they go back and start again. They're very slow at creating chances, so it's kind of interesting how Joel Perreault has got so many shots on target. Maybe they've been mixing it up recently. I haven't seen them play for a while, obviously. But I think I'm not sure if we can keep a clean sheet. Obviously, George Long not really tested. Can he deal with Joel Perreault? Can he stop the shots from going in? He's a very good player for a reason. And obviously, we conceded 3 against Norwich. We conceded 2 against Sheffield United. So we will see. We will see how we deal with Perreault, but I'm probably thinking Swansea are going to score, and then I think Millwall will just outscore them. I certainly think that will happen. So you're either going to go, in that case, it's going to be 2-1, 3-2, 3-1, and out of those, I'm probably going to opt for the 2-1. I imagine we'll probably go 2-0 up and then just try and defend that's 2-goal lead and just end up conceding the goal. I think that's how the game will play out. So yeah, I'm going to go for Millwall 2, Swansea 1. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.